Hello everyone, and here is my review for Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons. So you know where I'm coming at. I've done about 20 or so hours of End of Dragons content so far at this point of review. I have done 3 of the 4 strikes. I have played the Thief Elite Specialization Spectre. I have played the Necromancer Specialization Harbinger, and I have played the Revenant Specialization Vindicator, all with various different levels of playtime, but that's a little general overview of my current progress on where I currently am on putting End of Dragons content. So the first thing I want to start off with is the story. Now, where I left off with my first impressions, I was pretty happy with where the story was, and I thought I was only about midway. Turns out I was a little bit farther than I originally thought, and while the finale was fantastic, it did feel short compared to the other expansions and stories. So I feel like there could have been a little bit more, but I really enjoyed the majority of my time with the story so far with it, and I look forward to the Living World seasons when those come out. Now, the zones. I was very surprised when I only saw 4 zones. Thought there was going to be one more when I originally thought. I didn't look into it ahead of time, but just from previous expansions experiences, I thought there was going to be another zone. You know, a little disappointed on the zones, but for the most part, each of the zones were very unique. They all had their own thing with them. You know, I enjoyed it. I did. And I like spending time in each of the different zones as I'm going through and doing all the events. Speaking about the events, the world events, let's get into that. The world events, the metas and all the other regular events, you know, it's pretty much what a lot of them are what you expect from previous expansions. Is very much similar. If you really enjoyed that, I do like going to different ones from different time to time and, participating in them. I like going around the whole world. I like going and getting all the little, doing zone completion. That's definitely something I'm into. And if you like doing completionist kind of things, you're gonna love that. And then for the meta events, this is some of the more controversial parts of the expansion. The meta events, the first 2, pretty easy from my experience. I haven't done them too many times, but I was able to complete the first 2. Quite enjoyed it. Now, the final meta event, which is in the final zone, it's got quite the controversy because it is hard, tight, and requires a fully dedicated group for this content. It's no joke. It has a tight timer. You gotta complete this thing in a very specific time frame. I haven't joined any specific groups for it. I've gone as far as I can with just random people throughout with the map and participating fully. I've attempted it quite a few times, but the thing is, it's not the worst thing ever to not complete it. It was required for this hurdle mount, yes, but now you can do the event so many times and get those Dragon's End rights. Get 200 of those. You can buy the beginning item, start the turtle mount now. You don't have to complete the event now. So if you fail it enough times and you can't get your win, you can now buy it, which I think is a fantastic change. Yeah, so now that's no longer so much problem. That the event is still challenging, but you get rewards as you progress throughout the map. So I think it's still worth doing, and it's still a lot of fun to do, even though you're not going to be able to quite finish unless you get yourself a dedicated group that's fully ready to do it. It's going to require a lot of what you're doing. I think that's a great thing to actually have something to work towards if you desire that kind of thing. My next thing I'm going to focus on is the masteries. I think the masteries they added are great. They add in what's already kind of a core staple in the Guild Wars 2 endgame, and it adds some more flavor. You get fishing, which it's almost like a crafting, almost like a profession that you do for the crafting, cooking, all that kind of stuff, but it's mixed in with the masteries in its place, which I think is a very good way to do it. You got your Jade Robot. It's great. You get masteries that just let you continue to get benefits and make things easier easier to work with. They can get more charges, all that kind of deal. It's great. I think there's a great mastery system with the Jade Robot, the skiff. You know, I really hope they add skiff races, and you get your thing fully mastered. You get all these extra things for the race. I think that's going to be a lot of fun to be able to do like skiff races. And I hope there's like a whole tournament. I hope they make a whole like seasonal event about it. That's my hopes on it. And then you've got the Arborstone masteries, which it feels like they just kind of added them in to add more mastery progression for this one. This one I'd rather would they just keep it out and you just have access to all the things in Arborstone from the get-go. It almost kind of like replaces a reputation system, so it's okay. I'd rather it not be part of the mastery system and then they just make a reputation system in its place. But that's just a quip I have for that. Now, the next part I want to focus on is the Eliete Specializations. I have currently tried 3 of the new ones. I've got Thief, Necromancer, and Revenant. The most amount of time I've put in is with the Necromancer's Harbinger. I really like the Harbinger. I wasn't expecting to, and it's actually just really, really enjoyable. It's full on ranged, just continuous dot damage you're focusing on empowering those, buffing yourself. You can go as a healer if you desire. I haven't tried healer Harbinger myself, but I hear it's pretty good. It's a pretty good monster in PvP. It's pretty great in World v World. It's all of the new specializations are kind of like the meta right now, from my understanding. And so going Harbinger has been it's becoming my actual favorite playstyle for the Necromancer so far. Harbinger, I really enjoy. Now, the next one I've put in the most time into is the Spectre. And I think I still really need to put more time into the Spectre, but I do like what it's kind of going for. It's this ranged, I hear it's pretty good with healing as well, but it's really good for condition damage. In PvP, you want to go with maybe a power build, and it's got a lot of teleports it's adding into the whole thing. It's giving these wells that you're adding in, and yeah, it's something I need to spend some more time into. I actually need to build a condition set for my Thief and give that some more test and trial, but it's been pretty, I'm still working on and doing some PvP matches. I think that's going to be my continued focus on for that, but so far I am enjoying the Spectre, but I do enjoy Deadeye on Thief a little bit more, doing like a rifle spec. I think that's my favorite spec so far on the Thief, but Spectre, it's coming up to a close second. Now, the Vindicator. The Vindicator is the one I've put the least amount of time into, and I do plan to spend more time, but it is some of the most fun and silly points I've had in Guild Wars. I'm not good at the new Vindicator at all, but I have a lot of fun with the new Vindicator. The role switching to this Elite, and I'm playing this Norn Revenant, I feel like a Valkyrie from Norse gods or something, like just coming down from the heavens and, summoning a guy to chuck a spear, all this sort of thing. It's super fun. And I've got owned by quite a few of Vindicators in World v World and other PvP. They're really good. I will need to get better. I think this will be the one I spend the next most amount of time after I'm really got my fill of Harbinger. Yeah, Vindicator, top charts, super fun, super unique with its leaping up mechanic. I don't know about in PvE content for sure with that role. It's gonna feel weird not having to, but I love that it's so different. I do. I love that it's so different. So those are the other specializations. There are other specializations I will go for further, and I will give my thoughts when that time does come. So I will eventually link this to a future video when that time does come. The next thing I want to talk about is the strikes. Now, I have done 3 of the 4 strikes. They, compared to the Icebird Saga, I think they are a improvement compared to the previous. It goes over story beats, and and you know, it's parts in the story that they've taken out and they made it a lot harder, and you have to focus more on the mechanics. I think they're a lot of fun. They're fun to kind of goof around with either a pug or you know your guild if you want some nice chill things and make some progress towards some ascended gear or something. The fourth one I've heard about, and it's a lot more complicated and harder challenge to do with a coordinated group, and I am excited to eventually try that, and I will put my thoughts on it when I do get to that last one. But besides that, yeah, it's something I definitely look forward to completing, and so far the strikes I've been really enjoying, and I think it's adding a lot more for stuff to people collect, masteries, all that sort of thing. It gives more ways to get ascended gear. I think that's all great. It's adds more community to to playing with the people you have friends playing in the game. Yeah, it's a great way to make some friends too playing the game. I've joined a new guild myself since this, and yeah. Anyways, that's the end of my review to the End of Dragons. Please like, subscribe, and check out this content I have up here.